Hello everybody, welcome to this video. Me and Mike are going to sit down and go through and watch some drone footage and discuss it as we go through it. If you got any questions or anything, put it down in the comments below. But otherwise, like and subscribe to the video, and we'll keep putting more of these out there for you guys if you want to see them. I hope you guys enjoy this video. So yeah, we're going up the middle of the 2.8 acres with the 12-hour moves. And just looking at it as you go up, it appears that the trails, I know it rained.
It didn't rain on that one.
Not on this one?
No, not on that one.
Okay.
It rained.
But the trails are different. Once we make it over to the 8-hour moves, it just appears differently from up, from up above. But the litter seems to be knocked down, and they don't eat it off as much as the 15-acre areas and the 7.5. It just seems like there's more.
Yeah, they knock it down more versus eating it.
Yeah. The trails to me are just interesting. Why is there a difference? What causes it?
I don't know.
They're definitely breaking up the capping though in some of these areas.
Yeah, you can see on this, I'm pretty sure I put
on this bare spot right here.
On the left side of this.
Yeah.
On the screen here, I put both of my salt bucks, I think.
Right there?
Right there.
It looks like it because they definitely
on
were working
the bottom
over.
one and the top one.
It's amazing. You can see where the fence was too. They just don't get close to it.
Get close to the fence line.
And that's why
on the bare spot.
When they talk about next year when you come through, it's better if you're not in the exact same spot.
Right. You're better if you're
that way,
a little over.
That way you get some impact into those areas. Whereas now all along that fence line, you just don't get near the impact. You can see it on the bare spots, but it's happening all along, even in the grass.
In the grass, you get a little more movement because they go up and they try to eat.
Yeah.
Along.
But it's only certain cows.
Yeah, it's only. Yeah, you're right.
Because like yesterday we were watching and you could see one cow. She's down on her knees, sneaking through.
Yeah.
Trying to eat through that. And then where you have the salt licks, it's definitely impacted.
Or the protein lick.
Yeah, the protein lick.
Definitely.
And then this is going right up the fence line. So the right-hand side of the screen is your 12-hour moves in that 2.8 acres. And the left side of the screen is your 8-hour moves.
You can definitely tell there's hardly any trails.
No.
I mean, there's like no trails.
It totally, when you're out there walking, it's amazing. The same. You walk through there and you can tell the cows are spread out. It's more like they do like circles instead of this beeline down the field.
I think right there you can see right there at the beginning of that
is one of their 8-hour.
One of my 8-hour fence lines.
Yeah.
Up middle of the screen there.
It's just more spread out is what it is. The impact of the hooves is spread out. Whereas over here it's concentrated in these straight lines.
Back to the water.
Back to the water. Back to the feed. Back to the protein. Because right here you can really see it. Right hand side you got all these trails going on. Left hand side.
Not as much. You can start seeing, because I think I had a fence line like right here.
But here is where they were.
Start seeing a little bit of trail.
The end of the 24-hour period.
Yeah, because they were going back to their water.
Yeah.
But it's not near as much as
the right side. I don't know. To me, it was just interesting seeing all that. And then here, we're going right back up the center of that 2.8.
With the 8-hour.
With the 8-hour moves. Yeah. So you can see your quad tracks on the right-hand side on the fence line there.
Right where I built the fence.
Right where you built the fence. And over here, left-hand side, you can see your quad track as well. But the only real trail in this is right down the middle. There's a little
bit of trail there.
A little bit of trail. And it just kind of spreads out.
Because right here, right before the tree line is where I had my first 8-hour move.
Right. And then your last 8-hour move would be down.
Yeah.
But it just, they even seem to knock it more down. There's more
they do.
Grass knocked down. And to me, it's hard to imagine that just an extra 4 hours makes a difference.
Changes it.
But it does.
Yeah. You can also tell the difference between all the bare spot. They They've worked it more than over in the other 12-hour
moves.
And you definitely see the cow patties down there.
Yes.
On those bare spots. You can see them easily. There's a lot more cow patties.
In the 8-hour moves.
Yeah.
To me, it's hard to imagine that much time makes that much difference. But it's obvious here. You've got these deep cut trails versus this little bit of
tiny bit of trailing.
And then this is back up the fence line. So you've got the right hand side is your 8-hour moves. Left hand side is your full 15 acres. And they were in there what, about 6 days? 7
they
days?
were in there 5 days.
5 days?
Yeah.
You got more animals now, so you
and then again right there where the disturbance is, that's where the salt blocks were.
Yeah. And hopefully those areas shrink next.
Yeah, they should shrink, especially monsoon, with that much
disturbance,
compaction, and
especially if the seeds if they compacted and they drove seeds in the ground, and they also drove in any grass in that area. You'll have your carbon, your seeds, and it should hold the water. But you don't, on the left hand side where the 15 acres is, there's not as many trails when you're walking out there, but there is like 1 or 2 trails in there, and they're really deep. So that the compaction on them is a lot more. So they totally change the way they're moving up and down the field. It's like they move down a ways and then spread out. They all stay on that trail.
And also they're going out into spots and eating.
So this is right up the middle of that 15 acres. And those are your tracks from moving the protein lick.
Well, I was filling the protein lick, so I had to drive out there.
But all the trails in here they're cut differently. When you actually walk up to them, they're different than in the day moves and the when you move multiple times in a day, everything's just different. And I guess it's hard to tell what, for the land, what's going to actually make stuff grow. Because you still got your impact.
Yeah, you got good impact on the bare spots.
So what's going to actually help it? I guess time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell.
And then here, that's where your lick was there on the left hand.
Yeah, where that piece of grass
definitely got some compaction.
Yeah.
And then right down here, we're getting to the control down at the very end.
Yeah, you can barely see the fence line there.
Yeah.
Moving the control with it.
So in that control, was it about 2 acres?
Yep.
It's taken out?
Around 2 acres.
Yeah. And so there's no impact goes on that. Cows aren't even allowed in there. And this right here is just back at the very far end of the 15 acres. Just kind of sweeping across into the 7.5 acres we're in right now.
Yep.
And they had another day left in there. But you can see the difference. I don't know what it looks like today, but you can definitely see the difference in there.
The trails
and
protein lick.
It's almost like the 15 acres works better for the land than the 7.5 does.
With trailing, yeah.
With trailing, but I don't know what the impact difference is. It's almost like if you're going to do a big one, go ahead and do a big one.
That's what it looks like.
But, here again, time will tell. Because look at them trails.
Yeah, and you even saying they're deeper.
They're deeper. They're really cut.
Than they are over there in the full 15 acres.
Yeah. Because those are cut like really deep when you walk out there in them. And it's not like, you had a lick in the 15 acres. You had the protein lick, so they were going to it. But this one is just like
Even the trails that aren't even going to the lick.
Yeah, I know.
On the left they're just going through.
But they're cut deeper. And maybe it's just where the red root is.
It is softer soil right there, so it could be just because of that.
Yeah.
And up here where the cows are right now, it's a little harder soil.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, you can see that. And then here is like starting right in the middle of the 15 acres. and we move along, and it's going to be hard to see here, but we're going to come right up on the 2.8 acres, 8-hour moves, right, see here, I think it's right here, right in the middle of the screen right now. You start seeing the lateral lines right there. That's right where the fence was, right here. See it right there? There's the fence, just past the bottom right screen, and here we're coming up on the next 2.8 acres, right? See the blue post right there and the wire. So this is a 12-hour move pasture. And then you come up on another 12-hour move pasture. It's like this is where the rain. This is where the rain was.
Rained just before I moved them in there, so it's wet.
So this is turned around, same thing. Here's your first 12-hour.
The one with the pasture. Rain.
Yeah, with the rain.
12-hour without it.
And here's the 12 without it. The center of the screen now is the 15 acres. So it's definitely, I mean, there's differences, whether they're good or bad. I don't know how you tell.
Yeah.
Until it rains.
Until it rains and you get regrowth and see
if there's actually a
species of plants come and which ones aren't coming in different areas.
Because I know walking out there, you can see there's grass seed everywhere. The grass seed is everywhere, and it's driven down in the cow hoof prints. And it rains, holds water in there. They're going to sprout if it rains long enough for the grass to come up. I know the annual grasses that are coming up though, even if you didn't get a lot of rain, they're going to sprout and come up 1-2 inches and go to seed again. Just last year, they definitely had a chance to
grow up
and
make
actually become some forage. Yeah. So there's on the right hand side. There's where the cows are going to. There, haven't touched that yet. And the grass is already starting to oxidize a little bit more, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
after that last rain,
it's starting to oxidize.
It definitely starts degrading the quality.
When you move the cows out, you can see a big difference of what they've mashed down. It's more yellow.
Yeah. So this is just trying to look straight down on where the cows are right now. They're
trying to pick up the cow patties.
Yeah. It's hard to see them. There's definitely some impact though. The hoof prints.
Yeah, the hoof prints are very
little bit softer dirt right there.
You can definitely see, especially on
the
arial
holes
right there.
Yeah.
See them.
But if you go through the where the cows are, so that was actually in the 15 acres there. But over here where the cows are, it's the same. It's almost about the same impact. It's not really that much different, but it was also cool when the birds are still out there, just flocks of them. Cowbirds and the cows were happy. At least yesterday they were. They were probably ready to move.
No, they weren't quite ready to move this morning. They weren't bawling.
Well, it still looked like there was still quite a bit of feed.
Yeah, there's still feed out there, but it was just enough I didn't want them to eat anymore.
See that cow? She's sneaking through. Underneath the fence.
Sneaking under, trying to get stuff.
She knows she got caught, so she's out of there. This right here, you can see the difference in all the different paddocks
strips.
Yeah, where the 15 acres is and the 7.5 and all that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe and comment below if you have any questions. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.